Alright, good afternoon. So I've left Cuba. I actually left Cuba at like 2 p.m, which was much later than I originally planned to, but it was basically because the Wi-Fi was so crap in the motel. I went to McDonald's and I stayed at McDonald's for a while so I could upload a few videos. That way I have all the videos uploaded until I reach the next town. But anyway, it was probably good to relax a bit. You know, I'm well fed, well hydrated, well caffeinated, ready for this road walk. I've actually already been walking for over an hour now. I did a few miles on the major highway, which wasn't great. I didn't film much, especially I don't really film anything when all the cars are going by, because you get like massive trucks just zooming past you really fast. It's not very comfortable, but luckily those are really wide shoulder, so it was fine. It was just a few miles and now I'm on a much smaller road, still paved road, but nowhere near as busy, so yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, it's probably good that I stayed in Cuba for a while. I got a full 24 hours of rest. That way, you know, I let my feet rest up and all my joints and all that, because this road walking is definitely hard on the body. So it's probably good to rest up a bit, especially this paved road. It's tough on the joints and on the feet. But given that I left town quite late, I'm not sure how many miles I'll do today. Maybe just a bit over 20 miles or something, I'm not really sure. Depends what kind of pace I go at, but usually when I'm walking on a road, I go pretty quick and I don't really take many breaks because there aren't really nice places to take breaks. So we'll see what the camping opportunities are up ahead though and all of that. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But tomorrow I'm planning to stay at some kind of RV park at San Lucas Dam, I think it is. So that should be fine tomorrow, but tonight is definitely going to be a bit of a like kind of just see where I end up. I think it's, you know, small country roads, kind of middle of nowhere, but we'll see how it goes. I know that there is a ranch that I can stay at if I need to, so that should be fine. There's a ranch in like, I don't know, another 20 miles from here, so could probably just stay there. One thing I didn't really mention on that previous road walk after Grant's was that there were a few times where I had dogs barking at me pretty crazy, and a couple times where the dogs actually came out off the property and onto the road and were like really aggressive. So yeah, hoping that doesn't happen again. There was one time where I was actually pretty worried that the dog was going to bite me. It was actually when I was with Overhill leaving Grant's, but it was a tiny little dog, like not a dog you'd really be afraid of, but I mean still, like even if it's a small dog, you don't want to get bitten by a dog on the leg. So yeah, it like ran into the middle of the road and I'm thinking, what if a car comes? It's gonna just like hit the dog. Yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit sketchy, because the thing with the CDT is like normally when you're hiking the CDT you're going places that many hikers have walked past, but if you're making up your own route, like you're going past property which these dogs have never seen a person walk by, so yeah. Alright, so I haven't filmed a huge amount today. It's almost 8 o'clock now, and yeah, I felt a bit weird about filming as I was walking past a lot of properties and also just with a lot of cars going by. So there's definitely a bit of a selective bias with the footage. Like, there were a lot of cars going by for a while, especially probably around like 5 p.m. kind of time, or like the whole day up until after like 6 o'clock it started to die down a bit. But had quite a lot of cars going by. I never really filmed that, but sometimes like the road is not really a shoulder, it's just like grassy on the side and sometimes a bit of a slope, so I'd often just be like walking off on the side and then going back on the road. But anyway, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I expected less traffic, honestly. I'm on a different road now, and I think this road is going to have barely any traffic at all, even tomorrow, like in the middle of the day. So far I've only had one car go past since I've been on this road. So, but yeah, I actually had 2 dogs come out going crazy, barking at me, so that was a bit stressful. They weren't like really big dogs, but still, I mean, yeah, you just don't want to get bitten by a dog, obviously. And yeah, they came running out. It was 2 dogs at the same time, and yeah, I went to the other side of the road, which I don't know is maybe bad because it means the dogs then cross the road, but like I'm trying to get away from them, so I don't know. And 2 cars went by during this whole thing, and they had to slow way down so that they wouldn't hit the dogs. And the dogs just carried on going crazy, and they followed me down the road for, I don't know, at least 5 minutes or something, until they eventually stopped. But yeah, it didn't feel great, because I mean, yeah, I don't know, it could go a lot of different ways. Like, who knows what the owner of those dogs is like, and so you don't know what's going to happen. And then after about 14 or 15 miles since leaving Cuba, I reached this small, it's not really a town, but there's like a little gas station there, and I was able to get water there, and the person there was really friendly. I just asked her, like, I bought something. I just bought like a Gatorade and like a snack, and then I asked her like, hey, should I buy water or is there somewhere I can fill up? And she let me go around to the back of their store and just fill up from a spigot. So I filled up all the way. So basically I have like close to 5 liters because I have the like Gatorade as well, and that was at like 6 p.m. So I drank lots and then filled up all the way, because basically from there the next like guaranteed water is like 34 miles. So it's like a 34-mile water carry. I think it's something like that. Basically to El Vado Dam, where there's an RV park where I'm planning to camp tomorrow. So I figured I'd fill up all the way, obviously. It's likely I can get water somewhere else, like from a ranch or something, but I want to play it safe, so yeah. And then also at one point I had some guy yell at me, like swearing, aggressively yelling at me, kind of just making it clear that I wasn't welcome in this area, making it clear that I wasn't welcome walking by. So that was really uncomfortable and kind of stressful, because I mean, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he's crazy, if he's drunk and reckless and thinking of doing something crazy or what, but like, yeah, I'm not going to repeat what he said, but he just made it clear I wasn't welcome. So I just carried on briskly walking by, and there's not a lot of properties out here. For a while there were, but like at that point and at this point there's like a few miles between each property, and every time I walk near a property I worry, I'm like, please no dogs, please no dogs. And then as I walk past that guy, he just sitting on his front porch basically just like yelled at me. So I just kept my head down and carried on walking. But after that I kept looking back, like, I don't know, maybe it sounds a bit ridiculous, but like every time a car was coming I was just like worried it would be him or something, and I don't know. But then luckily about half an hour after that, someone coming from behind me, and I was still thinking, oh, what if it's that guy? And he slowed down and I was like, oh dear, here we go. And this guy slowed down and he was like, hey, do you need any water? And he was really friendly, and I was just like, no, I'm good on water, I filled up all the way back at that store. And he was like, all right, you sure you're good? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. So he was really friendly and nice. So that was good to know that there were people looking out for me out here as well. And then about an hour after that, just recently, I had someone drive by, and that was the one and only car that's driven by on this road. And she stopped and she said, CDT hiker? And I said, yeah. So there are actually a few CDT hikers who have done this part of the road. More people have done this stretch than the previous one, like Grants to Cuba, because there are a lot of people who were like in Cuba when the national forest got closed. So I think there are more people that have done this road walk, and she knew about the CDT. So she has a ranch up ahead, but it's still, from where I am now, is like 7, maybe 6 miles. So I'm not going to go there, but she said that I was welcome to camp on her ranch. So I asked her, I was like, you know, what's the situation with, like, you know, if I camp somewhere in the forest, somewhere kind of hidden along here, you know, is it all private property? She said, yeah, it's all private property, but she basically said I'd probably be fine, you know, like setting up late, packing up early. She didn't say all that, but like she basically was like, yeah, it's private property, but should be fine, like that kind of thing. So obviously I'm a bit sketched out, but I could push all the way to her place, but it'd be a late one. I think if I see somewhere good and secluded, I'll be fine. I'll get up early and be on my way, so yeah.